challenges. When you're taking oil samples, you're waiting for these oil samples to get analyzed, not really knowing which kind of asset you're going to service first. If you're having some bugs in your IT and you want to fix them. And also, unexpected downtime. This can happen at any time, and this kills you. And all of these is translating you to a lower productivity, not reaching the desired goals of the company, and spending more and more money. So it's all about alignment. So raise your hands. Who is 100% sure that everybody is aligned? 70% sure? 50% sure? So, you see, it's all about this. So, if you're getting an alignment throughout the whole company, it's giving you better tools for better decision making. You would like to work on a faster and reliable decision making for all department levels. So, from a day-to-day operation for the operation team, it looks something like that. So you do monitoring, watching the monitors, collecting all kind of data, you sample it, you go for oil sampling, doing these analytical steps, and then you come to an action and you're checking the results afterwards. So, for a faster and reliable decision making, this happens between this analytics and the action. And that's important to set something up and improve this and to set up a system which works for everyone. So, in our experience with firms in the industry, we have been able to see the whole puzzle together, not as isolated pieces. And this is what it looks like. What you see here is coming from a big cargo vessel traveling from Asia to Europe in the engine. What we see here is normal operation conditions at different machine loads. So we have the machine off state, that is zero load, that's the base, the baseline. We have a machine start, this rises this level. We have a medium load, rising more to 100% output power. Your ship is at full power, it's traveling, everything looks like this, everything is good. That's normal. So, what you don't want to have is something that is above this threshold, this abnormal operation. Ending up there all the time means that your machine is operating always in an overload condition, at an overload state, which reduces the lifetime of your asset, of your engine, of your gearbox. So you don't want to be above that. You might see also something like that, these peaks. If you see that peaks, you have machine operation problems that have a higher wear and tear. You might push the machine too hard from 0 to max, where you have this kind of steep increase. These steep increases are not good for your machinery. It wears off very quickly your equipment. Then, after you having this high increase of load and this overloading, you go back with a reduced machine load and it's getting back to normal state. If you see that kind of behavior once, twice, it's fine. It may be like you're having a cold start at a lower temperature, maybe. If you're seeing and observing this kind of peaks more often, frequently, over the use of one in the same day, over several weeks, with this, you know you have a big problem, or you can have a big problem in future if you don't change these operations. So you can have a better operation with this kind of identification. You know when it happens, and you have all the other information on the machinery, and with this you can act more clear and have a better decision. What we see here is the possibility of having an early identification before something breaks down. We have here a heavy contamination inside the gearbox. With this early warning, what we see here is before we have normal operation, world is fine. The machine was turned off, going to rest. And the next time the machine was started, we have had a heavy contamination at this restart of the machine. The detection was there at 30 seconds after this happened. And by this, you can see here the rest of the curve is going down. That is just the mixing behavior inside the asset, inside the gearbox, when this contamination has happened. But the machine was turned off, and so there could be a deeper understanding of what has happened. What kind of service you do there? What is your action to take? If you see that kind of heavy contamination, you have several things to do. You go there, you make it, you're taking a lab sample, an oil sample. What we call is like a condition-based oil sampling, not a scheduled one, because that happens sometimes you don't know when. So you take the oil sample, you go to the deeper understanding what has happened there. What kind of contamination is, you find the source of the contamination, and what turns out here in this example is that the gearbox itself was good. There was no problem with the gearbox. There was a cooling circuit which broke down. The cooling liquid entered the gearbox oil circle, and therefore we have had this kind of contamination. So what do? Remove all the stuff which is in there, clean up the machinery, refill with fresh oil, and you're ready to start with your operations again. And after 30 seconds of information. What is also very important for us today, keeping the oil as long as possible in the machine, using it as long as possible with a good protection, probabilities, potential on the machinery. So what is the time for an oil change? There are different kind of possibilities. You can use it like there's a schedule, like once a year, twice a year, you change it depending on the asset. If you have engines, it's more often. If you have wind power drives offshore, you usually take these oils for 5 to 10 years, depending on the model and depending on the oil type. There are recommendations from the gearbox manufacturers, and they say, okay, if you have this oil for 5 years, we guarantee you no downtime. The oil suppliers, they say, okay, you have this kind of oil, we give you 10 years of warranty, no problem. With this, you're kind of safe. However, if something breaks down, you have this kind of downtime, you have a loss of money, you have all the struggle with operation and maintenance to get the things up. So what is the perfect time for this, to change oil? What we found together with our clients is that there is kind of an optimized timing for oil change. So you're going on increased trending information, you have your set points, and once this hits this oil exchange indicator, you change the oil. For the different applications we see with different clients with different oil types, we can set these levels to different heights. That means some of the people are wanting to have it an early exchange because they're 100% sure that never ever breaks something down. The others want to have it as long as possible to save money. So there's always a kind of a, optimization for that kind of things. Because if you're waiting too long, all the additives inside wear out, and this reduces the overall asset's lifetime. So, how do we get to smooth operation for us, for the whole company? You can have the most comprehensive condition-based monitoring, but without the alignment inside the company for all the different levels, from operation maintenance up to the plant managers, up to the C-level, they have all to be aligned on that kind of things. So to get the best possible decision-making on that. So it's important for you, and what I would like to give you on the way is like that you get your entire staff together to build up the same understanding of the perfect world. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Dr. Peuser. So you're really early, finished, but that gives us a lot of time to put questions. So anyone who has questions? Maybe I have one.
Please.
From your talk, I didn't quite catch what is your service. What are you providing to the customer?
So what we are providing is that we can come to a booth and we can have a deep talk on that. What we have is we provide our clients the way of getting this perfect world closer. It's like the service we have is we have a system, we have an oil condition monitoring system. We install it with the client, we set up all the parameters together. We have a deep look under their actual way how they do the servicing, the maintenance and the operations, and how to bring them to better way of long-lasting equipment, low downtime, maximum uptime to optimize their operation and maintenance. That's the main thing.
So you have the equipment, but you also offer the strategy and,
yes,
and
exactly.
How to use it.
It's not that we only provide some sensor system, then we say goodbye. Our approach is like to keep a close relation to our clients and to optimize it for them together.
So maybe can we have a look at what is your typical customer?
Typical customer. So we have aluminum mills, for example. They have a struggle with. So what we are measuring actually is like conductivity, permittivity, and temperature with the system. We have then computation of all these to provide this information, how to react, when to react, and what to take, what action to take. For the specific client, for the aluminum mills, it's like that we have a specific conductivity window where we have to be in, or the client has to be in with its oil. If it's too high, the aluminum production is not good. If it's too low, you have electrical charge build-up in the milling process, and therefore this is very dangerous because you might have explosions by electrical discharge effects. But that's one of them. We have wind power drives, offshore clients which have the system installed there in the oil flow, and there what we see when it's time to change the oil together with them and to identify the critical operations for them to get their system and their assets run as long as possible at maximum output. So they have the best way of generating high margin also for their products.
Great. So any more questions? Don't be shy. No? Okay, so wait.
Sorry? No.
It's very biased, but can you show what it looks like, your system, like how to make these decisions?
So the system, actually, it's what we have is also online. So the system we have is like this combined. It's like the sensor itself, the sensor system itself, together with an online interactive data tracking. With this together, we can show you the information. If you need more information, let's have a talk later.